All right, how is everyone doing today? Finally, we're fucking back, and we're in another episode of Film Lounge. And I'm Ernesto ET, and I'm accompanied by my good friend Pablo. Introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Pablo. I'm trying to get back into these conversations of talking about movies, talking about shows, TV shows, anything, man. Anything related with geek culture. You know, I love talking with you, ET, man. It's always a good conversation, and hopefully, some people out there can enjoy some of the stuff that we give them, because sometimes we have some really good talks, some really dumb ones, but at least you can always sit and listen to it. At least in my opinion.
I just think that whatever conversation is, I think you'll just want to listen no matter what.
Yeah, we get into some really dumb stuff, some really cool stuff, and a nice gray area in between. So hopefully there's some for you.
As I was like surfing all these a lot of different people having their own chats and everything, I was listening. I was like, you know what? I feel like there's just something missing, and I couldn't really think about that. And I was like, you know what? We have interesting takes, and I feel like what we talk about, it's not really. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't really discuss the topics that we do, or the concepts that we do, or just even our understanding of certain things. I'm gonna be honest. I think some like content out there can it's kind of it's kind of a little blurred sometimes. It's all kind of a little bit of the same stuff. A lot of same ideas.
Yeah,
And
people tend to think very similar to one another, and I like to say that we sometimes, with the help of substances, sometimes legal, sometimes illegal, we can have very stimulating conversation.
like right now, I think you have a cold beer right now, and I'm sober.
Hell yeah, dude, Modelo, oh, ice cold, bro, tastes amazing.
So Modelo, if you're out there, you can feel free to sponsor.
Yeah, please sponsor us, please.
But anyway, today on this session, we're actually gonna do something different. We tend to talk about things that we could like or we're interested in, but we're actually gonna do the Book of Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett.
And Pablo here is very passionate about.
That's one way to say it.
about his feelings for
Jesus.
the show, and I do too, but
yeah.
I'm gonna defend it a little bit. But Pablo's gonna go full prosecutor mode.
Okay. All right.
He's gonna go fucking full on Mexican piano on this show. So without further ado, Pablo, let's get to it. What do you got?
Ooh, okay. All right. So I made a long Instagram post about this, and it was about the Book of Boba Fett, just kind of going on my thoughts, just because I like to try to figure out how to review things, the best way to review shows. So sometimes I post my thoughts on the stories, and I watch Star Wars. I love Star Wars, so everything Star Wars I absolutely love, but I love The Mandalorian. And at the end, we saw a little snippet for what would be the Book of Boba Fett, and I was really excited because it made Boba Fett look like a total fucking badass, just shooting Bib Fortuna in the face. That was really cool. So I was like, all right, cool, I'm interested. Boba Fett was cool in the Mandalorian Season 2. But I never really cared too much about Boba. Like, it was cool, and he was a cool character. And even when I watched the original trilogy, he looked very cool there as well, even especially next to Darth Vader. And I think it was Empire Strikes Back. So I was intrigued, But, dude, I gotta tell you, bro. This did not do it for me, man. It didn't do it for me. It was cool. I was interested for the first 2 episodes. I thought, okay, they'll start off with some light, going back and forth between his past and his present, see how he got here and everything. But the editing, I was not a fan of. We'll get more into it, but just for the light introduction, it didn't give me what I needed, bro. It didn't give me what I needed.
It just wasn't the vibe.
It wasn't it, man. It was not it. And I love my boy, Robert Rodriguez. I would support anything that he does because he's fellow Mexican. I love El Mariachi. I love Desperado. I still have not seen Battle Angel. Battle Angel, bro. Like, when you told me about it, I saw it, and I was blown away. I was like, this is fucking incredible. Like, this is actually amazing. It was like Avatar level of amazing. Like, it was really good. It was up there. And I was really proud of.
Probably one of the best.
Yes, 100%.
Anime adaptations.
Yes.
Currently, I think.
Oh, so. Without a doubt.
Well,
without a doubt. Like, those are always such a failure. I mean, just look at Death Note, bro. Those are always such a failure. And Robert Rodriguez managed to do something that's very hard to do. He translated anime straight into live action, and it worked really good. It wasn't perfect, but it was really well made and beautiful. So anyway, so when I knew that he was gonna helm the Book of Boba Fett, I was excited. I love the guy. Wanted to see what he did, but just it didn't land for me, bro.
So
Sad to say, man. Sad to say.
sad to say.
Let me take a drink.
No, go ahead. Keep sipping on that
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I want you more loose for sure.
You want me loose, huh? All right.
I want you.
let's
I
see
want
how
you
it is.
angry. I want you like abuse some alcohol, dad.
Oh,
Angry.
oh damn. All right.
Um,
This.
So okay, so my introduction to Boba Fett was obvious. I think everyone's was always like original Star Wars, and he's essentially, I mean, he's a character that really had no business having his own show, but for some reason, just for being
hmm
aesthetically cool looking, you get your own show. Everyone gets you create a whole culture, a race of people behind this guy. And I think for
hmm
me, what kept me, what really make me more invested was definitely back in the day on GameCube. There was a video game called Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which essentially was about you follow his dad, Jango Fett. And I fucking love that game. That was one of my favorite games of all time. It was a really fun game. Fucking Jango Fett. To this day, I think I prefer him over Boba Fett. But
Oh wow, really?
I mean, Jango Fett's a fucking badass. He's the
I guess I
original.
don't know that much about Jango Fett himself.
I mean, he's the reason they used the clones were. There's a reason why the clones
That's
were
true.
were he was cloned after the war for the Clone Wars.
That's true. I don't know. I never dug into that. So, what kind of cool stuff is Jango into? What has he done?
Well, essentially, he's basically the original Boba Fett. He was just ruthless, and he had a very interesting, like backstory. And I mean, he just at the time he was regarded as one of the best bounty hunters. The central plot of that game was that he took a job to defeat Count Dooku's former apprentice, and
hmm
and that was the mission that kind of gave him the job to be the clone. That's what kind of be like, okay, whoever that whole like job was created just to see who was the best bounty hunter, so they can potentially clone him. I mean, he was just a badass dude. His suit was, I think his suit was a little bit much better. He was just more ruthless, I'd say.
Okay.
But anyway, so I definitely had some say going into this. I definitely do appreciate Boba Fett for sure. But I'm with you where I'm a little disappointed. I feel we got kind of blue balled, a little bit.
Yes, my balls were very blue by the end of the season.
Yeah, like very, very fucking blue.
They were huge, bro. They could barely fit in my pants. They could
Oh,
barely fit in my pants.
no, and those pants are very tight. So, um,
Hey, I'm trying baggier jeans, just because thanks to the Book of Boba Fett. So thank you, Robert Rodriguez.
so essentially, that being said, like, I was very interested in Boba Fett. However, I was a bit concerned that, okay, so we had the Mandalorian, amazing show, right?
Hmm.
And then okay, well, you know what? We're gonna have another show about another Mandalorian. I felt that just, I don't know. I just felt that was just kind of, we just had
Repetitive.
yeah, in a sense, yeah. I felt like, hey, we just kind of had one, about another Mandalorian. But now we're gonna do another one. Like, at least take a break, But I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Boba Fett's a different type of Mandalorian. Okay, I get that, but I do feel like maybe, I don't know. It was a little bit kind of familiar, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, I think you're right. It felt a little weird. I think I was a little open to the idea just because I thought, well, the Book of Boba Fett, it kind of seems like they're not gonna get rid of Mando, but it kind of seems like they might do like a chapter. This is another Mandalorian story, just it's Boba Fett's story. So I was kind of into it, especially since they did get me excited about Boba Fett and the character him coming back in season 2 of Mandalorian. He was really cool. He wasn't used too much. They still left a lot of mystery to the character, and I thought, hey, okay, he's gonna become a crime lord. That's like a bounty hunter going to the palace where of his former boss becoming the next crime lord. It sounds like there's a lot of story, and you can make out of that. And so my imagination went wild with it. I thought, okay, this is gonna be like some crime stuff, like in the
yeah,
streets. This is gonna be a street level Star Wars show, in Tatooine, which we all know Tatooine is a piece of shit planet. So we're like, okay, I just thought shit was gonna go down.
It's like the Oakland of Star Wars.
I thought like we were gonna see mutilated bodies, like not like that. You know what I'm saying? I thought we were gonna see some violence, like that level of violence that Disney could get away with it. So yeah, dude, my imagination went wild, but none of the things that I thought. There's moments. I'm not saying it was all bad. There's some moments that I do appreciate. I do really like about the Book of Boba Fett. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. It made me smile. And if anything, they gave us 2 really great episodes of Mandalorian 2.5, season 2.5 or 3, whatever you want to say.
But that's an issue unto itself where I feel like, well, we can get to it later, but I felt that was also an issue that as great as those 2 episodes were, I felt like it confirmed some things, about Boba's show that, one, this guy cannot headline his own show, and 2, just like how does your protagonist get sidelined by another character who has his own show? That, for me, that's very concerning. At least for me. I don't know how you felt about that, but
oh yeah, dude, it didn't feel right. Like although I loved those episodes and I love The Mandalorian and it did so much for me, like emotionally. Seriously, I really enjoyed those.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed those episodes. They're really, really good. But dude, like it felt so weird to watch a show where I'm like, I am watching the Book of Boba Fett, right? Like this is still Boba Fett show because he shows up in episode 6 but doesn't talk. He doesn't have a single line, and I'm like, how what? Like it just did not make sense to me. So I think that showed to me that this show wasn't ready. I don't know how this show got greenlit or it started, how the writing process started. I really don't know, but it doesn't seem planned at all, because to just sideline your main character and then the finale does nothing to bring those loose ends together. It just seems so weird, and I'm like, this seems like something that was rushed. It just doesn't seem like something that was like there was a lot of thought put into it. And when did Mandalorian season 2 end? It was a year ago, right?
Around there, yeah.
So I think it was like they only had a year to complete this. I don't really know. It was rushed, and so some of the things that I really didn't like is that they never made Boba Fett look as cool or as bad as he did at the end of that teaser in Mandalorian season 2. The whole crime lord story, and I did enjoy the flashbacks. I enjoyed how the Tusken Raiders were like expanded on. There was more respect given to that part. That honestly I really liked. So I'm saying, man, I don't know how you want to do this. Do you want to go episode through episode or just kind of talk about whatever we think about?
I guess for now we can do with the things that we liked and the things we didn't like. We can kind of split it up. But for sure, it's someone else's book, but for sure it ain't Boba Fett's book. I can tell you fucking that.
Nope, it's not his book, man. This is Disney's checkbook that said, "Hey, let me try to squeeze some more money out of this character that everyone seems to like without having a clear plan." I don't know. I don't know if it was Disney or if it was like Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni who decided to say, "Okay, let's go ahead with this idea." I really don't know.
Well, I guess we opened up that can of worms already, and I think I guess we should discuss this because this kind of been in the back of my mind for quite a while now, and I feel that
let's get it.
I feel that certain Disney shows have plot for sure, but what I feel like is happening is it's getting fluffed up, like with some filler stuff, just so they can extend it and be like, okay, like we have a general story going on, but we're kind of fluffing it, just to be a little longer and fulfill this quota. Because to be honest, I felt that with Hawkeye. I felt that with Book of Boba Fett. And what else? I kind of felt that with a little bit of WandaVision, just a little bit, where as soon as it gets its main plot, it kind of like detracts, and then we get into something filler, and then main story now. We're springing some main story in there, and I don't know. Maybe it's a wrong observation. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But I feel like I don't know if that's what Disney's doing, where they're like kind of just fluffing it, and because I felt like Book of Boba Fett, if you actually just stuck to like the main plots, this thing could have been finished like easily 4 episodes.
Yes. Because those 2 episodes of The Mandalorian don't count. They really don't count towards Boba Fett's overall goal. They have nothing to do with it.
So That being said, I don't know if they had like, hey, this is our main story. This is what we want to do. And like, you know what? We got to make it a little longer. I'm just like, you pointing that out. That's like, it wasn't finished. I kind of agree with that. Like, where certain things are like put in at the end just to kind of wrap things up a bit. But I'm just like, you did nothing to even set us up for that. You just,
Yeah.
I think that was part of my big issue. My one big issue with the show, I think, it had no sense of balance. As soon as you start the episode, you start getting into the crime boss. You know, it's essentially like what I was getting at. I was like, oh damn, this is gonna be a Star Wars Godfather. Essentially, that's what I was feeling.
Yeah, that's what I felt that it was gonna be too. You summed it up perfectly.
And then as soon as you get to the good stuff, okay, you know what? We're gonna like, okay, this guy just fucked us with the this guy thinks he can fuck us. Okay, you know what? We're gonna kill him. Like we're gonna go after him. And as soon as the momentum builds, we fucking go to a flashback. And the thing is, okay, that's cool. But my main concern was, dude, once we hit to those flashbacks, that was it. That's what the show's gonna focus on.
Like, that's it. Thanks for coming. See you next week. Yeah.
We want to continue the crime boss stuff. Okay, cool, but it's not gonna be in this episode. We're already past that. You're gonna have to wait next week now.
Then you get to episode 5, like, oh, you wanted more Book of Boba Fett. Sorry. Here's the episode of Mandalorian season 3, like prologue, you know? You don't get no Boba Fett story there.
I think John Campy said something that I agree with. Where he said it's not the Book of Boba Fett, it's the pamphlet of Boba Fett. It's more like the magazine of fucking Boba Fett.
I almost choked on my beer, bro. Oh my god. That was the pamphlet of Boba Fett.
No, it's the fucking paragraph of fucking Boba Fett. They ain't a lot going on.
That shit ain't no book. That's actually
a couple sentences here and there.
That's actually hilarious. One sentence will be one episode, and then they'll rush it with like the rest of the 4 sentences that make up a paragraph.
But I mean,
oh my god.
But I mean, essentially, there was some good stuff that I really liked. When I'm just like,
yeah, man.
Like, okay, yeah,
some really cool stuff.
Or maybe that's my expectations where I was just thinking, like, I think this show's good where, like, we see him becoming his own boss. He's going to run things his way. He's not going to be ruthless. He's going to be like, hey, instead of just killing you, how about we do things differently? We respect each other. We tell each other, hey, let's not get greedy. Because if we get greedy, you know, all this whole thing will just fall through.
Yeah. And one comparison that I have to make to that is Thanos. You know, he started out like in Infinity War, he was more interesting because he was an older Thanos who kind of didn't just kill to kill. Like, he chose the reasons why he killed, and he had a purpose. So this Boba Fett has that same arc, right, where he's been the bounty hunter, but he wants to be a crime lord. He doesn't want to do it the way he used to. So like, he's gonna do it in a different way. He's aged. He's more wise. He understands more. So Thanos was very interesting. So, but they didn't do that with, and it would have been interesting. It would have been really cool. You could have built that. I don't mind the flashbacks. Do the flashbacks, but do them right, and then let us see how he was, and then why he turned, and then how he's carrying. But maybe have him have a moment where he's slipping back into those moments where he's being that ruthless again. But he has to learn to that it takes a lot of effort to be this respecting crime lord, you know, make him struggle with it. His arc was completed by he was already completed. The Boba Fett that we saw already went through all that stuff, dude. And in the flashbacks, he was going through his arc. So by the time the Tusken Raiders get murdered, his arc is complete. He just needs to get revenge, and he gets that revenge in the flashbacks as well. So tell me, the Boba Fett, what character arc does he have from where we start the story off with him? He does not. He literally has. Boss.
You already are.
Dude. You already went through your transformation, and they didn't do anything to try to make it seem like he's struggling to be this crime boss. He just is, you know, he's already standing. He's already got he speaks like in 3 sentences. That's all he's going to say. And he doesn't do anything to reinforce that he's a crime lord, like that he will fucking cut your fingers off and feed them to you if you don't do what he says.
Yeah, I wanted to see.
You're still a crime boss. You're
dude. Like, no, I was like, I wanted to be fucking go Tony Soprano and go in people's faces and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the
Mm,
fuck did you just say?
yeah. Sorry, I took a sip of my drink, but yes, exactly, dude. Like, go.
Fucking put him
Okay.
against the wall, you know?
All right. You start off right. You Boba Fett's trying to get his respect. It's not working. So a
Uh-huh.
couple episodes in, he does that, and then it's not working out. Okay, his back is against the wall. He really needs to do something. All right, make him go crazy. Make him go ham it. Make him go hurt a couple people, but then we reel it back. It's not that. I don't feel like it is that difficult, especially for someone who is of the caliber of Robert Rodriguez and
Jon Favreau or
Dave Favreau? Dan.
or Dave
No,
Filoni? Which
I
one?
mixed John Favreau.
Oh,
I
Jon
mixed Dave.
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
Dave Favreau. Hey guys, I meant Dave Favreau.
Just fuse
Anyway,
them together. Create a whole new
John
person.
Favreau, yeah. So he's a great writer, and Robert Rodriguez is a great director. He's really good. When he wants to be, he can do a really good film. So I don't know where it was just rushed. That's all I could think about. And I think the budget, excuse me, was lower for for this show than it was for Mandalorian, I believe. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the numbers, but that's what I heard. So it would make sense, but still, I mean, Robert Rodriguez made El Mariachi with what, $1,000? I don't know how.
Like some bus fare, like a couple, like
It,
whatever money he had in his pocket, I think.
and I will rewatch El Mariachi any day before I rewatch the Book of Boba Fett.
Desperado.
You can, yes, I'll rewatch those movies any day before I watch this again.
And don't forget Spy Kids.
Fucking Spy Kids. I'm not gonna lie, Spy Kids. The reason why we have those Vespa riding Power Rangers is because of Spy Kids. I shit you not.
You
I
think so?
that's where he got. Yeah, that's what I'm like. What is this? What is this? Honestly, I was looking. I was like, what is this, guys? What are we doing here? Why the? I don't mind the colors. It's fine, but the characters.
What's a pride event going on or something? I don't know about.
It stood out like a sore thumb in the Star Wars universe, especially Tatooine. But I was like, okay, whatever. But they were not interesting. Why were they there? Why? I forgot where I heard this argument, but they were like, well, you know, Boba Fett is trying to take kids who are like underprivileged, and he doesn't want them to end up like how he did, so he's gonna give them a job and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, hey,
All
I don't want
right.
you to be killers I don't want you to be ruthless killers. So you know what
Cool.
I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give
Yeah.
you a job so you be ruthless killers for me.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I'm saying. Right? Boba Fett did not think that one through. So, so no characterization, nothing for those guys. It's like, okay, you steal some water, and you have it hard. All right, what else is there to you? Nothing. There's no characterization. So, and they just look dumb, man. Why does and also I don't mind the cyberpunk aesthetic. I know you know that I love cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm. Blade Runner. Yep.
Blade Runner, both 2049, the original, and Alita Battle Angel has some cyberpunk vibes, and I love it. So I don't mind that in the Star Wars universe, but it didn't add to the story. It did nothing. Like maybe they could have made some scenes where they're like they feel bad about losing their limbs, like that they feel confusion between the transhumanism that's going on within them, you know, like they're essentially a cyborg. Like that would be cool to give them some depth. There was none of that, and they made these guys essential characters where they kept they're reoccurring characters, you know. Boba Fett took them in, and he apparently cared about him enough to have his mind swayed in the finale by the Power Ranger riding Vespa girl, you know, who says, hey, we're not leaving here. You can go to the palace, but we're going to stick here and fight it out here for the people. And Boba's just like,
okay.
All right, we'll do what you say.
So, okay, that kind of
Okay,
that
you
kind
put up a tough fight.
That I think that segues into another problem where I felt there was very little moments where Boba felt badass. I think he was a badass every time he had his helmet on and he was talking. But other than that, sometimes he was made out to be a bitch. Like
He's that's putting it fucking lightly. He was a fucking he was a coward. He was not strategic. Yes, he was straight up bitch. Like he just Oh god.
Like, hey, how's your boss? Like, hey, go do this. No, I'm like, okay, dude, that's your fucking.
Like, wait, you hired them, right? You're paying them and they're being insubordinate? What is going on here? Aren't you a crime lord?
Yeah, but I want to do this with respect. I get that, but sometimes you gotta call the fucking shots. I mean, that's so. What kept me going with the show was me thinking, okay, he's still learning how to be a boss. Okay, whatever. But you telling me that he has to learn how to be a badass again? A badass that I thought he was originally already was. Like
Yes.
I felt there's moments where he gets sidelined, he gets saved, and I think sometimes there's rarely any moments where he comes clutch. He's always being fucking rescued by his second. I was like, fuck, I felt like fucking his second in command was more of a fucking boss than he was.
That's I'm happy they did not fuck up Fennec, okay? Fennec is still a badass because she still murdered that entire council.
She got more
The
shit
mayor.
done. She got more.
Yeah, the mayor and the leader of the Pike Syndicate. Yeah,
Mhm.
she murdered all of them. She fucking hanged the mayor. When she did that, I was like, "Oh, thank you for giving this,
Fucking cold
giving
blood.
us this. Thank you. Like that was great. You can hear the neck snapping and everything. That was amazing.
Oh.
And I was hoping that it was gonna be Boba Fett, but it wasn't. I mean, cool. Fennec is still a badass, but that should have been, in my opinion, that should have been Boba Fett. Boba Fett was the crime boss. He should have personally murdered these people because he's the badass, right? He's still supposed to be a badass. You're still supposed to be that badass. But Fennec did it, and she was still looked really cool doing it. I love Fennec. I love her character, and they at least did not fuck her up. I swear, Ming Na Wen. Thank you for your amazing performance. Like you did an amazing performance with what little piece of shit script you were given. Like seriously, she was reading maps most of the episodes, dude, and telling Boba Fett, hey, chill the fuck out. Like that was her characterization. There was nothing else for her to do, and she managed to do and pull off a really great performance. I still loved it. I still love Fennec. Every time I look at Fennec from this episode, this show on, I still think that she's cool. And then I can't say the same for Boba Fett anymore. I really can't.
And that's a shame because I really like his actor, Tamora Morrison. Like,
Yeah, Tamora Morrison is awesome. Love him.
Fucking awesome, amazing voice and everything. Is just
Yeah.
I just felt he didn't really do anything. He just like,
No,
dude,
man.
Finnick did all the fucking talking. Majority of the time, she was like saying, "Oh, you sure you want to do that? Oh, nah, we shouldn't do that." Okay.
That was hilarious, man. I couldn't believe that. Okay, and can we talk about Cad Bane?
Oh man. Okay, so this is the good part. I feel, at least for me.
This is the good part. This is the good part, but this is like bittersweet, to be honest. I'll go first. So, first of all, when I saw Cad Bane walking up, because I was still like, the episode is called "A Stranger." A stranger comes from the desert or something, the desert land, like stranger from the desert land or something. But when I saw him walking, and I was like, oh, that's the stranger, okay. And I was like, wait, is that Cad? I was like, nah, that's not. And then he got closer, and Cobb Vanth was waiting for him, and I was like, dude, that's Cad Bane. My face lit up, bro, like a Christmas tree. Like I was just super excited to see. I was like, and when he finally raised his head, and you could see his big dark red eyeballs that are terrifying, and then he starts talking. Oh, dude, they nailed it. I was in love all over again because Cad Bane is such a fucking badass. So and the voice, oh man, I don't know the name of the voice actor, but it's amazing. So very excited. But then next episode, what the hell? What the fuck is this shit, Disney? What the hell is this? What is going on here? Why is Cad Bane seemingly dead? Okay, I don't think he's dead because it's supposedly his like little jetpack or whatever breathing thing was still beeping. So apparently he's still alive. But the way he was used, dude, like they should have introduced Cad Bane from episode 1. Build that like that story between them, because obviously he's the ultimate antagonist to Boba Fett, but he only appeared in the episode before the finale.
It felt rushed.
And
right?
then it was extremely rushed, bro. Extremely rushed is to the point where you present him really cool at the end of an episode, which I think is cool. You should have done that for episode 1. Introduce him at the end, and then we get snippets and bits of their history together and why. And then the finale feels you will feel that weight after you go through this remembrance of why, like, student and teacher, and like why one will beat the other, and why Boba Fett will come out victorious at the end. So they wasted like such a cool character, and even in the finale. Okay, the way if you stick with the way they introduced them, fine. The finale, he didn't do much except like come at the beginning, taunt Boba Fett, leave. Once everyone is dead, he comes out and he's like, what are you gonna do, Cad Bane? Why are you coming out?
Why are you gonna
All
shoot a
your
guy with
forces
Death
have been
Star
destroyed.
armor?
Yeah, like all your forces have been destroyed, and you're the only one here. Why would you do this? It didn't seem smart. And Cad Bane in Clone Wars was smart. He was a survivalist. Above all else, he would love money, but he would survive. He would always run away. He would find a way to keep going. Why is he coming out? Why? I really did enjoy how he died, though. The way he died, like getting stabbed by that pointy,
The
weapon
staff,
stick, the staff that he made, with
the Tusken Raiders.
with the Tusken Raiders, and apparently that was something that Tamora Morrison, the actor, like kind of told Jon Favreau or something, like to kind of put in there. Like he put that in there that actually has to do with Tongan. I think is he Tongan?
Well,
Culture.
he's from New Zealand, right? So there are Aboriginals there.
Okay. So the Aborigines. So like whichever group he belongs to. So that stick, actually, the way it's shaped and the way it's made, I believe was influenced by his real background, which is pretty cool. So I enjoyed the way he died. I was like, okay, cool. Oh, he didn't kill him with a gun. He outsmarted him and he stabbed him. I actually like that.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that a lot. That was cool. But they didn't build that like callback throughout the entire season. It should have been throughout the entire season. Maybe Cad Bane and Boba Fett face off like twice or 3 times, maybe twice, and then he loses the first time, but then the second time he comes back and then he uses that to beat him. It's just they could have built that up in a really cool way, really cool, satisfying way, but they didn't, man. They didn't. Although I still love that I got to see Cad Bane and he was super awesome. When I start to think about the possibilities, it gets me frustrated, dude. It's just nothing but frustration at this point for this show.
Just angry.
Yeah, man. It's just like, damn, like to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to think about it, dude. Because also, I hope I'm not ruining this for anybody listening to this or even you, ET. But
Well, yeah.
like the way I feel like we were slightly robbed of our reunion between the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Ooh.
The way it happened.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I fucking might as well just segue into it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it because you think that, hey, our season finale was about them splitting apart, and I was like, oh, you know what? They're gonna reunite now, but it's not even in the part of the show. We're gonna do it in someone else's show.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. It was such a big build up, and finally seeing a Jedi, like come in, and not just any Jedi. It was Luke fucking Skywalker who came and took Grogu. So, and I had heard someone talk about it like on a YouTube video about like, dude, okay, what if like they did that, but they didn't really think about it through enough, and they thought, well, if Luke is with Grogu, it's canon that Kylo Ren at one point destroys the school and kills all his students. So is Grogu part of that? So I heard someone talk about like, oh, what if they like didn't realize that and went back and wrote an episode where they get him out of there so they don't like kill off Grogu. But it didn't have to be that way. You could have done that in The Mandalorian season 3, or even not do that. Like I was really hoping for The Mandalorian season 3 to be just Mandalorian. Let's just have him, and then we'll follow Grogu too, but he's going on a different path. They're still on different paths.
Yeah.
Yes, a build up. Like we got over 2 seasons, we're able to follow the Mandalorian getting a Grogu to his people. Very cool. Felt really satisfying. Enough to the point where after I watched the episode with Luke, I rewatched season 1 right away, and season 2. I did a binge, and it felt like this giant movie. It really did feel like this huge movie, and it was so awesome. Now that's slightly ruined, dude. It's ruined. It's like damn, now I was robbed of them meeting again, like in a really emotional, profound way. Because they like, what's her face, the comedian lady comes in
Mm.
her comes in the finale with Grogu and like look who's here and turns over the
Oh.
blanket
Mhm.
and Mandalorian is like what, like he's just like what. And I mean I did feel a little bit of something there. It did feel emotional when I saw them, but not as much as it would have been if like we spent a whole season with them apart and at the end they get together because maybe Grogu heard that Mando needs help. He felt it in the Force or something, like with all his training going on and but it didn't, man. I feel robbed. I feel robbed of that experience.
I agree. I thinking about it now, it just felt like, I mean, fuck, dude. Like you're right. I would have wanted to see Mandalorian season 3, him being them, being on separate paths.
Mhm.
Mando, understanding what it means. He's still understanding what it means to be Mandalorian. He has his creed, of course, but he's still understanding the history of it. And that would have been interesting for him to keep following that. The history of the dark saber and the first Jedi to be what was his name? Pre Vizsla, the Jedi Master.
Yeah, the first Jedi, first Jedi and
The first.
Mandalorian.
So that would have been interesting, and then you would have had some stuff sprinkled here and there with Grogu training with Luke and saying, him being in tune with himself and understanding him, and like you said, it builds up to where he becomes like I don't think he wants to do it, but like, dude, you only trained with Grogu for like a few days, and you're like, you know what?
Dude, I don't even think it was a month.
I don't need this for you, dog.
Cause the Book of Boba Fett, that teaser was right after what happened in the events of season 2 of The Mandalorian. And he starts his quest right away. I'm assuming it hasn't been that long since the events of that last season of The Mandalorian. So when we catch up with The Mandalorian again in the Book of Boba Fett, it's still only been like a couple, maybe, I don't know. I can't even imagine a week has gone by. I mean, whatever that means. I don't know. They're on different
Yeah,
planets. So I don't know
you're
what
right.
a week
I don't
means.
understand the time zones.
So, but still, it doesn't feel like it was any time at all. Yes, a year passed by between the time that we saw the end of the Mandalorian season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett, but in the show, it still feels like it was the next day. So if this guy couldn't even go like a week without Grogu, he's like, I need to see Grogu. Like, okay, dude, I understand you miss Grogu. We all fucking miss Grogu. Okay, we want you guys to be together, but the way it was done, it didn't feel earned.
It showed a little bit of self doubt with Luke in him becoming a teacher. I understandably so that I thought that this Luke Skywalker already built his school and he's already kind of just getting other people. I thought that would have been interesting because I mean it's been, how long has it been already? Like since episode 6 and for Mandalorian, like what, 5 years or something?
I think it was 10 years. 10 years after the fall of the Empire is the where the season 1 of Mandalorian starts.
And you're now just
10 or 15 years.
and you're like and
I
you're
think.
now
I think
just
it's 10.
and you're now just starting to school. Like I would have thought you already had some, like at least some layout of it. At least a couple of students because. Like I mean, right now thinking about it now, it would have been interesting. Where like, yeah, Luke's still trying to understand being a teacher and a master. So there's
Mm.
moments where he teaches Grogu about himself and vice versa, and then him becoming a better master. But it just, we didn't really get that. Not like at that point, like that ship has sailed already. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it would have been interesting to delve deeper into Luke being a master, not being a student anymore, not being the son of Vader, him being Luke Skywalker, Jedi Master, and I don't know. I always wanted to see that side of him because we never really did. We always just see the side. We got to see the side of him that gave up, at least
Right.
with what was that, the Last Jedi, right?
Yeah, and where he just kind of gave up being a Jedi,
Where
and
he's
he.
milking fucking alien cows or whatever.
Oh,
Just
dude.
milking them, just jerking them.
On. It felt so weird to have that be in the Star Wars movie. I was like, what am I watching? Is this Star Wars? Or is this a guy playing Luke? I don't like, is this not Mark Hamill? What is this? What the fuck is going on? Yeah.
So I agree. I think we could have. I think there's a lot of potential. I do think with all this being discussed, I do think there's some hope for Boba Fett if we just fix some of these problems.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't really get to ask you, but like, how, did you even think Tusken Raiders were interesting at all?
No, man. If I'm being very honest, like I thought it was cool how like the Mandalorian, and I think it was season 1 and season 2, like there were snippets where like he kind of traded with them, and he like knew how to talk their language. And I think in the first episode of season 2, right, or the second episode of season 2, I don't know, where he kills that giant crate dragon in Tatooine,
Uh huh.
and he works with the Tusken Raiders. Super cool, super awesome. You get more in depth, right, with the Tusken Raiders, and this went full in on like someone, an outsider, getting accepted into their culture. So I was not like super excited, but learning about them was very, very interesting. One of those things that I think that's the kind of that's characterization, but it was all done in the flashback sequences, right? But it was really good. It was really good stuff, really emotional stuff. Like you never see like, I mean, you saw like Kid Tusken Raiders, but this close, one that kind of bonded with our protagonist. So it was, yeah, I loved every bit of that. I didn't expect it, but I'm glad I got it. It was one of those gems, I mean, the Book of Boba Fett's like a giant desert, and you're finding gems in amongst the sand. Like that's it. Like that's a really good part of the show.
What if it wasn't Tusken Raiders and it was like almost like an Aboriginal tribe in Tatooine, where there were people and I don't know. Part of me feels maybe you could have went a different route, but
So like a different kind of people that are not Tusken Raiders.
yeah, I think like him bonding over with a young with a young native girl, and they're teaching she's teaching him how to be soft, and he's teaching how to be tough, and then you get that emotional connection, and then it rips you out, and it rips it out because they're gonna die at some point. That way you feel that fucking the vengeance of like, you know what, I'm gonna kill all these motherfuckers, because when you see Tusken Raiders die, I don't know, I don't really give a fuck. So
When I see these guys getting murdered, I don't feel shit.
but anyway, that just fix and I feel. And I feel fix up just Boba's character. Just have him do more. Have him actually be a fucking boss. Like him saying, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. And like, hey, know what? I'm the fucking boss, and we're gonna do it this fucking way. And then it could.
Like I'm like, yeah, just have them shoot people. Like don't wait around to hear their response. Pull up your gun like you do with Bib Fat Fortuna and shoot them in the face. Like that's it. You had already done it. You obviously did it to get that throne. Why do you want to? You literally took the kingdom with the complete opposite of what you're preaching to be the new crime lord of. I feel like it promised a lot. It didn't deliver. It wasn't like fulfilling, and people were really excited about it, man. People were excited. Like, I was not, thank God, I was not a huge Boba Fett like diehard, and looked at it and like thought about these stories with him and stuff. Because I feel really bad for the people who looked at this and like are lying to themselves that this is good, because this is not good, dude. This is not good.
No, definitely. I'm only advocating that there is some good in here, and we can if we work on the issues it has potential to be good if it actually explores.
Yeah.
Him being like him creating his own familia, and he has his own his own inner circle. Like it was like, dude, you had a Wookiee with you, and you
Oh,
that's it. Like, dude.
oh, don't even talk about what was his chrysanthemum.
And I know I know you were very passionate about that. I think you know more about his character than I do. So
like all I knew, I don't know much, but what I did know is that he's like the anti Chewie. He's like super like Chewie's like a little cuddly. You're still a little scared of Chewie. Like if he gets mad, like you're like, oh shit, all right, my bad, Chewie.
But he cuddles with you.
He cuddles with you, right? But this guy absolutely will not cuddle with you. He will rip your fucking limbs out and just laugh at you,
like
as you're dying. Yeah, like he will gladly do that, right? But so when I saw him, I was like, oh crap! Oh, they got Chrysanthemum. Oh snap! Like the Hutts are moving in. They hired Chrysanthemum to bring, like, this is cool. They build it up. It was really cool. Like in my head, it was like all gonna work out. But dude, come on, like this guy, like he gets into a fist fight. He doesn't even use any of his guns, or does he? No, he does use his guns. I think when he gets into um, Boba Fett's palace, but they start fighting. I think at one point it gets physical, and that's it. And he gets caged up. He gets put in chains, and that's it. They let him go, and he runs off. What? That's it? And then with all the times that Boba Fett got thrown around, this guy should have had a broken back. He just fought a Wookiee, got smacked with that electrical, like a fist
Oh
that he
yeah,
had
yeah,
on,
like
that
those.
fist weapon, the brass knuckles that are like have electricity flowing through them.
Yeah, when I want to get hit
It's
one of those.
he got hit like 3 times with it, and he was fine.
Mike Tyson
He ran out
punch.
with his bathrobe.
Uh,
He ran out with his bathrobe, like, is he good? Are we good? He ran out in his bathrobes after Fennec, like,
he almost got killed
threw him
too.
down.
He almost got fucking killed there. If it wasn't for his fucking like the fucking like his people, right? Like
The Vespa folks, the Power Rangers, the Skittles. Yeah, dude, like, so I'm saying, I'm like, how are you a badass, man? What? This guy literally was at your.
that's your
You would
boss.
have died.
That's your fucking boss, and you're following.
Where's your
Why
cameras?
are you following this guy?
Where's your Gamorrean guards? Where are they?
He's a fucking idiot.
What?
He's like, oh, I'm going to.
What?
He's like, I'm going to the bathroom. Like, Bobo, that's the wrong. That's the woman's room. Like, oh, sorry. Let me go to the.
Why is this show? Why is this show even a thing?
It's more like The Office.
Like, this is not real. Like, is this real? Like, dude, so many inconsistencies. And so anyway, Chris Hansen, yeah, he got done dirty. He got done dirty. And when I saw Jabba the Hutt's his family or his cousins, I think, when they came by, I was like, cool, they're gonna be involved in the story. Sweet, that's actually pretty interesting, right? Like, and I know the Hutt family is all involved in crime.
Yeah.
So all right, bring in more of the Hutts. Cool, sweet. No, they're gone by episode. Whenever Chrysanthemum like gets caught with episode 3 or whatever. Oh, they're gone. They literally don't come back. They're literally like just gone.
Like, yeah,
That's
we tried
it.
to kill you, and you caught us.
We're sorry, bud. We're
Our bad.
sorry.
We fucked up.
We're sorry we sent a giant like Wookiee assassin into your room.
We won't do it
to
again.
murder
Promise.
you.
I won't
But
do it
here,
again.
have him as a gift. Yeah, like, come on.
Oh my god.
And then your boy, Machete rolls in.
And
The trainer of his
Rancor.
new Rancor, yeah. Was it Danny Trejo, Machete himself?
yeah, he seems very very sentimental about that Rancor. Like, I don't know, he's very attached to it, I would say.
Your boy had a little bit too much time with the Rancor, right?
Like,
I mean, he did have a blindfold on.
beautiful. It's a beautiful creature.
They're beautiful creatures, and I was like, oh,
It's
a little creepy, dude. A little creepy, but okay.
yeah.
I like your enthusiasm, and that's another thing, man. Like we get, and this is not my idea. I didn't even think about it. I think I saw it on a forum on Reddit probably when I was reading about like what people thought about Book of Boba Fett, and that episode specifically, and the finale when one of the cool scenes when Boba Fett is riding a Rancor, pretty cool visually, awesome. I like it. How does he know how to ride that thing? How many days has it been? Why have I not seen you ride this thing? Where did you get the saddle from? Like, how much time does it constitute, like, that you're, like, a master at riding a Rancor? Because he looked pretty damn good in a Rancor, but riding the Rancor. And at the beginning, when he meets the Rancor, he's like, you have to teach me how to ride this thing. He didn't know. He obviously didn't know. So, again, how many days have passed? Why do you know how to ride this Rancor so perfectly? All these things where I'm like, it looks cool. It looks really cool. I like it. Thank you for giving me a kaiju moment in Star Wars where the Rancor is fighting this giant like battle droid, right? With the energy shield. Very, very cool. Not denying you that. And even when he goes a little berserk and he starts climbing and he kind of like King Kong, like, I like it. I'm loving what you're giving me, bro. I'm not saying this is not good stuff, but why? What purpose does it serve? Why did Cad Bane scare off the Rancor with a flamethrower, but Mando literally puts the flames inside of his mouth and he just kind of like, eats it. You were just afraid of the flamethrower. Is Mando's flamethrower just that weak? Does Cad Bane have a newer version?
This is a
I don't
better
understand.
flame.
Does he
has a
have
better flamethrower.
is his flame objectively better than Mando's flame? Does it have? Is it made with a
It
gas
has better stats, I
that
think.
It's just, I'm telling you, man, cool moments, no substance. Another stupid ass thing in the finale. Why are you shooting at the energy shield over and over again for the energy shield of that big droid? I don't know the name of this droid,
I don't know.
but it looks like a battle droid
think
the ones from
I
the Clone Wars. I mean, Star Wars, the Attack of the Clones.
think that beer's starting to hit, and I'm all for it.
It doesn't make a lick of sense. Why did the townspeople say they're gonna split up, but they're all going down the same street? Why are you guys going down the same street?
Why?
After you said you're gonna split up.
It's a whole lot of
Bro.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's
It's a lot of bullshit. That's what it is, man.
It's the Book of Boba Fett that's just poorly written. I would say, and that's all I can say.
Oh, dude. Oh,
But okay,
it's just
let's
go ahead. Let's go.
Let's say that Book of Boba Fett season fucking 2.
Oh dear Lord.
What if they actually you saw them you know what we're gonna do? We fucked up. We admit that we fucked up. We're gonna try to do things differently. The things that we think that the people want. Would you be interested, or would you be like, yo, fuck this, I'm done. Fuck this bitch, I'm done.
That would be my initial reaction. So you're not wrong.
Or is it gonna be like
yes,
a toxic relationship where it's like, you know what, I'll give you another shot.
Like an abusive girlfriend coming back for seconds. Oh god. I think I would be totally put off by the idea, and I wouldn't want to entertain it. But as much as of a Star Wars fan I am, I would be obligated to watch it. And the only way that I will feel satisfied is if they bring Cad Bane back and they made him the central antagonist to, and I'm not talking about villain. I'm not talking about a bad guy, because there's a difference between a villain and an antagonist. A villain is just someone who does bad things in general, right? And is just gonna be this force that needs to get taken down because now he's gonna destroy the world. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an antagonist, someone who is the complete opposite of Boba Fett and is looking to undo what he does. Simple. And get into his character depth. And if he's an old man, because they said he's an old man, get into the reason why Cad Bane is what's really bothering this guy. What's he going through? What, after all his years of being a bounty hunter, putting money first and people second, and letting his clients get killed and just running away, how is he dealing with that? What's going on with him? Is he just really fucked up? Did he grow up in a society that just every man for himself, and so that he's a survivalist? Show us, give him a backstory. He's really interesting, really awesome. A total Western badass.
Mm-hmm. Modeled after the great Cliff Van Lee, I think. From The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Good, the Bad, the Ugly, dude. It's it works. It's perfect. Love it. Make me interested in him. Bring me deep. Because I already love him, and I'm already a fan of Cad Bane. And then show us their journeys, and how when they meet, make it interesting. So that's the only way, dude. It was very clear that Cad Bane was supposed to be that complete opposite, that opposing force to Boba Fett, but they didn't do it right. They didn't do it right at all, and that's the only way. Yeah.
How would you feel if instead of him being the antagonist, we actually, because right now with the introduction of Cad Bane, to be honest, I kind of wanted to have a show with him. I wanted to follow him. This guy's he's a murderer. He kills people.
Yeah, he will do it. Yeah, he will murder you.
You want to know why? Why is you so fucking angry? Damn, chill, dude. Shit. The thing is, has that shit? Have we gone past that? Are we gone too far?
I mean, Yeah, you can always find ways around storytelling. You know, if you're careful about it, you can go back and tell those stories again. I don't think he's dead. I don't think Cad Bane is dead. I think that was more like of a red herring. I don't think he's dead. I think the beeper was like still beeping for a reason, and they kind of held on that shot. I think that was purposeful. So there's still ways to tell those stories, you know. So I don't think it's beyond them, but they really, I'm a little afraid, man. I thought that they were being careful with Star Wars again. I thought that they were really putting in their 2 cents and really considering all like the story beats and the characterization and putting forth a plot that people will be interested in, and it's not just cool people dropping by. Like, okay, the episode where Luke and Ahsoka, it looks like they already know each other and they talk a little bit, although it's like it's a little ADR, and you know, it's not actually Mark Hamill. I think that it was pretty cool, but why are they there? Why? It don't. I'm afraid that they're just wanted to poop something out real quick to get people something in between Mando season 2 and 3 to keep people interested, and all they did was like
Ostracize people.
make a hodgepodge show, and yeah, and then introduce characters, cameos from other shows. Like, why? Okay, why are you truly building the universe? Is this why you're doing this, or are you just pulling in these characters that you know have shows coming up to kind of like get people excited? And when you don't really care about Boba Fett, it didn't seem like they give a shit truly about Boba Fett. And so it does scare me, because it's like, I thought you were being careful with Star Wars. That's what you were already doing with the movies. The TV shows prove that it can be good. Don't just rush stuff. There's no reason to. There's no reason to. People will wait. People will show up for the next one. Like, I think the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader and Obi-Wan series coming up is going to be good on May 25th. I do feel good about that one.
I fucking hope so.
I do feel good about that one, because that one, they specifically named it a limited series, which means that this is a one and done. Hopefully. Oh, Disney, honestly, Disney will do anything for money, dude. So they might just, anyway, I don't want to even think about that. I don't want to put that in the ether.
They're milking it. They're like, hey, it's fucking Star Wars. They're going to fucking do whatever we want. Whatever. Just give them what, yeah.
Yeah. And so Obi-Wan, I want to believe in my heart that it's still going to be really special, a really good story that a lot of people want to see. A lot of people want to see this story, dude. Like, I'm talking about people who were excited for the prequels when those came out, and before people realized they were terrible, and people from the original trilogy, where we see a young Obi-Wan with master effects of this day and age fighting against Darth Vader in its full glory. We're going to be able to see, they already promised a rematch. We're going to be able to see that in full glory, and people are excited for that.
So they like, fight previously before.
Yeah, in episode 4 in New Hope, Obi-Wan mentioned something about like in their last encounter, like things turned out really, like it was really rough or whatever. So he wasn't talking about Mustafar.
I thought that was always Mustafar.
Because he specifically named Darth Vader, I believe. I think he said Vader or Darth or something, but he mentioned that it was when he fought him in his younger years, when he was already in his Vader form. Mm-hmm. There was a line or something that implies that. Maybe he didn't say it directly, but if you rewatch it and if you do a quick Google search, there's an implication that in this limited series, just like what we're gonna see, it's gonna be that, like their big fight where they fought again once Anakin Skywalker made his complete transformation to Darth Vader.
I just hope they give it the movie formula though, like the movie magic, you know, because understandably so, these Star Wars shows, like, they've come a long way. Like, TV's come a long way, but you can still see that, oh, it's still kind of TV. Like,
I mean, look at just whole another discussion, but Peacemaker is a perfect example of that.
That's HBO, man. They're killing it. Mm-hmm. HBO's killing it.
But anyway, not wanted to get off topic for another discussion altogether. Yeah, so that's an example of that, you know, like you can do that right. And I do believe they're going to do that right. And I think they are going to spend the money on this one because, first of all, again, they're calling it a limited series. So if you're only doing one of these, limited series usually get a bigger budget to do something really, really cool that's a one-off. And I just don't think they would allow people. I don't think that they wouldn't think that people are expecting a lot of this, you know. So I have faith that it's going to be good. But I'm just scared that the Book of Boba Fett is like, the beginning signs of like, let's just give everyone a show, and who cares if
No
it's
substance.
not thought all the way
Yeah.
through. Yeah, man, I don't want
I
that.
mean, I'm looking.
Because
Yeah.
then, sorry, real quick, because the Mandalorian season 2 did kind of start off that trend. We had a lot of cameos, and we had a lot of people coming in for like episodes and staying the whole episode. Like we had an Ahsoka episode, an episode where Luke showed up, even though it wasn't the entire episode. Boba Fett, Mandalorians, the 3 Mandalorians. She was the leader of
Oh,
Mandalore.
Bo-Katan or Bo-Katan?
Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
Yes, Bo-Katan. Yeah. So we had a lot of cameos, but it still flowed with the story. So I'm just hoping that they didn't see, ooh, they like cameos, so let's throw all the cameos in there. Please don't do that, Disney. Please, you're never gonna hear this because our podcast like only has 3 subscribers. But please don't ever do that. Jesus.
I'm looking at my my Captain Cassian Andor action figure and
Oh,
I'm looking.
don't you feel scared?
I'm looking at
Looking
it
at
discerned.
that beautiful face.
I'm looking at it discerned. I'm like, please don't do this.
Like Diego Luna.
Don't do this.
Please don't take this personally.
Don't do this to Diego Luna, please.
Please. No, man. Yeah, again, like Cassie. No, Cassie.
Cassian.
What's his last name?
Cassian
Andor. Andor, yeah, like a lot of people liked him, and people want to see his backstory. I want to see his backstory.
Oh yeah, I'm actually interested. Is it because he's Latino? Probably, probably, but
100%. I'm not gonna lie, but also he was really cool. Like that first scene where he's getting the information and he just shoots the guy. You're like, oh shit,
he's blasting people.
This guy,
he's cold.
This guy's done some shit.
Yeah, dude. So he's cold. He's cold.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah. And Diego Luna, amazing actor. Well, he's won. I'm not sure if he's won any Academy Awards, but I feel like he has.
He's one of my favorites.
I don't know.
For sure. He's one of my favorite actors. Like I support him in anything for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, that I feel like I said everything that I need to say about the Book of Boba Fett. I'm trying to think about any other kind of points that I would like to mention, but I think I would like the way it started. I was really hopeful, like it was the show overall. It was super messy, didn't come together for me at the end of it. I would rewatch like some episodes. To be honest, I wouldn't rewatch the whole thing, and I would probably search them up on YouTube. I wouldn't struggle
just the Mandalorian
episodes. I wouldn't fast forward, or do all that. Just like some. Oh, one really cool thing that I really did appreciate actually was the first ever appearance of the BD unit from Jedi Fallen Order. I thought that was very, very cool. I will give the show that. That was very cool.
What does it say when there's a video game that captures everything about Star Wars from the original? And I feel like honestly, I'm gonna say, I don't think none of these new movies that came out has ever had that feeling. Because I know, at least for me, when I played that game, it felt Star Wars, but it felt different. It felt fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And
it felt like sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, it just felt like this is an expanding universe, and we have not got none of that. Like, okay, from all the new movies coming out, Solo, Rogue One, all of this, like I've not felt that way, and it took a fucking video game for me to feel that way, to feel that the magic of Star Wars.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest reasons why it might be why is because like in video games you get immersed, and so you feel like you're there. You're like part of this world, and you're seeing like the ugly parts, you're seeing the beautiful parts, you're seeing all of it, unedited, uncut. You see like things that are like programmed to be there, but it's a different experience. And I think that similar to the Spider-Man game for PS4, the Jedi Fallen Order, they a lot of people were passionate about it. They were working on it. They had a good story, and they told the story they wanted to tell and nothing more. And they tied it into the original trilogy in a way that was super interesting. Jedi like Order 66 will always be interesting. That's one of the eras of Star Wars that is the darkest. That is the saddest. It's one of the most realistic, because you can connect that to like human genocide that have happened in real world history. You can connect that personally. It's very grounded. where one group of people decides that they don't need or want another group of people and just straight up murders them and blames things on them for propaganda and all these other things. So it feels very real. So we're living in that world in the aftermath of that world in Jedi Fallen Order. So, playing through that and playing this, you're basically playing a player that is like, you're being persecuted. You're being persecuted, and you're on the run, and you're on the run from one of the scariest motherfuckers in the galaxy, Darth Vader, who you do not want to be your father. Okay, it did it really well.
Any last finishing thoughts?
Any last finishing thoughts? Okay, so again, to our listeners, I just want you guys to know I didn't absolutely hate the Book of Boba Fett, but I don't like to think about it. I don't like to think about it just because it pisses me off of the possibilities and how bad they knocked this story just out. They pooped the story out. They poo-pooed it out and said, "Hey, here's a story. Let's go with this character that people seem to like." And they just kind of fumbled about and had cool ideas, but they're like, just like E.T. said at the beginning of this, just like you said, buddy, that in 3 episodes, max 4 episodes, the original story from where Boba Fett takes over Jabba's palace to the finale, that is 4 episodes. Probably, maybe even 3, if you 3 and like his arc would have been done in 3 to 4 episodes. His present story. If you take away Mando and Luke and Ahsoka and the flashbacks, it's the in the episodes where they were flashbacks. It was almost like half of the episode, half flashback, half present. So it was fun, but I wouldn't watch another Boba Fett show. I wouldn't really recommend this other than like there's some cool stuff, but you could just probably catch it on YouTube. I wouldn't recommend anyone to watch this, really.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah, man.
I don't hate Boba Fett, but... So, for me, I like to be optimistic. I like to see the glass half full. So, I would say as long as you're willing to fix some of these problems and do something interesting and actually give a fuck about storytelling and not give a shit about promoting your other things, I think we have something. But if not, then... if there's no purpose to make something, then what the fuck's the point? So that's my thoughts. So would I watch another one?
And you heard it here first, folks.
I would. If I see that, okay, these people just don't give a fuck, that's it. And I'm hoping that's not the route. I'm hoping that, okay, this is just a slip up, and I hope that the Star Wars shows that continue don't follow suit. If they are, Disney Plus is gonna have a lot of issues because there's a lot of other streamers, fucking Amazon, HBO, Hulu. They're all putting their fucking their best foot forward, and they're fucking killing it. They're knocking it out of the park. And honestly, all you really need is fucking good storytelling, and that's the core of everything.
That's essential.
If you don't, then what's the point? But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys hearing Pablo's rant. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of catharsis and he feels good. And
oh, bro, I feel like I lost 10 pounds, man. Thank you. Even though I drank 2 beers.
he dropped the one big ass deuce on Boba Fett. He just squatted down and just took a one fat ass deuce.
Hey, Boba Fett, check this out.
But anyways, we appreciate you guys for listening. And catch you on the next episode. Not sure.
On the next one, guys. Hopefully we're thinking about putting another talk for Peacemaker.
Watch that one out. That one's a show that actually is really good.
Really good. Got a lot of great things to say, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Someone else wearing a helmet, but this show is actually good. Go figure. All right, thank you guys. Good night and stay groovy.
All right, have a good night, guys.